Hello, hello, hello. Okay, why is my light looking so pale today, Legion? Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Give me a minute. Let's fix this. How about now? Hmm, is it more settled? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Bear with me here. Bear with me. There's like a line. There's like a line. That is so weird. I've never seen that before. Anyway, namaste, everyone. And welcome to the Path to Empowerment, the one and only numinous path. And this is Kingaya. And I'm bringing you guys today another high tower tarot tutorial. Um, thank you for supporting my virtual classroom and for allowing me to be of service to you, of course. Let me see if I can make my introduction a little shorter today, which I doubt, Just leave me alone, guys. Don't bully me. I'll make a bookmark. How about that? I'll make a bookmark so you guys can skip the intro if you don't like all my chit chatting. But for me, it's really important, though. It's really important that I get to greet you guys and that we set up the energy and intention. I need to make sure that the divine understands our intent and and for the divine to pursue each one of us and and show us the way. Okay, boo. So if you are new to my channel, baby, was good. Welcome to my table. I am so glad that your intuition, your higher self, and spirit guides let you hear, of course. Returning viewers and members was good. Thank you so much for your love, for your support. I'm here for you. This is home. This is our sacred cyberspace. Come as you are, okay? I see you, I feel you, and I love you. And I am you, okay? But it takes one to know one, okay? Star seeds, healers, light workers, way seers, way showers, chosen ones. Yes, you weirdo, you. I love you. And I really don't want to sound cocky, but consider yourself anointed, okay? This is spirit already talking, intercepting the shit right now. Today's message speaks about your transformation. You are on the brink of not recognizing yourself. That's what's going on with the collective, okay, guys? The energy this week is initiation and regeneration. And that only comes from the truth. For those who are ready to be of service to humanity as a star seed, mission. Okay, and this week will remove the veil of deception, and you'll be able to see. That's it. That's the message. It's very clear, and we'll get more into that towards the end of the tutorial. Anyway, um, back to the intro. Who am I? I'm a metaphysical teacher, a human potential coach, and holistic entrepreneur. And it is all intertwined into one divine mission, which is shadow work. I'm a shadow work expert, and I use tarot and oracle cards as a tool for self discovery, self empowerment, and self mastery. And I share experiences here on this channel to help you become self aware, authentic, and self empowered. And that's my thing, okay? You're welcome. Everything that you need to know about me and my offerings and how to book a private reading, a session, or a tutorial will be posted on the description section below. Please just feel welcome to join our free spiritual community newsletter at www.thenuminous.path.com. I send weekly emails with relevant energy updates. And as you already know, I'm really big on energy leadership. That's my thing. That's how, I help myself and my clients and my students to make universal forces work on our behalf. That's that's the juice. That's the secret juice, right? Before we get started, go ahead and let's make it official. Go ahead and make your voice and your energy and your intent count. Your presence is very important. And, let's make it official by subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. When you hit the like button, You're energetically joining our tribe, making yourself obvious, and it's like popping the antenna and aligning to the frequency of the collective, so you can receive messages through me. You were already divinely guided to be here, so allow me to deliver. Okay. Um, Also, if by the end of the video you feel that it could benefit someone that you know and love, go ahead and share with them. You know, become an agent of change. When you share, like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff, you become an agent of change, not only for me by helping me grow the channel, but also for for others, for the people that you love and you support, because you are making this information available for them and available for others, um, who needs the inspiration and the guidance. And I'm so grateful for that. You are my earth angel. And last but not least, all tutorials are timely and timeless. And of course, on divine timing, meaning perfect for you whenever you find them. Whenever the universe guides you to my door or my table, that's when tarot wisdom is going to help you the most greatly. And you're always welcome to, after any tutorial, if you want to get on the curriculum, on track with each tutorial by number, you can access our archive. I have a few playlists of timeless Picard readings and awesome tarot and oracle products unboxing, and of course great material on shadow work, because that's my jam. Okay, so let's get to this right now. The We're getting back to, of course, Tarot 101, the curriculum. And today we're going to start entering into the deep waters, peeling layers. And I want to give it to you nice and slow, you know, so that you can feel how deep tarot can get. And I know this is coming out so wrong. That's the King of Cups in me going bad. I just can't help it. We already talked about the deck, and I explained, quick recap. The deck, tarot deck, 78 cards, 22 major arcanas, and 14 suits. 14 cards on each suit. We got the wands, the swords, the pentacles, the cups. We already went through this. You can go back to those tutorials. Um, and what we have done so far is giving you the tea on the energetic vibration of the suits and what to do when they show up. What is it that they're bringing to the table on both the light and the shadow aspects? And obviously, what's next is the courts. Um, we already kind of like the pip cards. And today I want to introduce the chords. The chords, each suit has 10 pips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and 4 chords. Okay. Pa-pa-pam. Page, knight, queen, knight. Page, knight, queen, king. Oh my God. Same thing here. 1 to 10. Okay. 1 to 10. You guys are familiar with that. And then here comes the chords. Page, knight, queen, king. Same thing for all of them. Come on. Let's make it easy. Okay. Okay, page 9, queen, king. That's the pentacles. Okay, from 1 to 10. Okay. We'll eventually get to all the cards, but we're talking about the energetic vibrations here. Okay, so 1 to 10. Boom. Page 9. Okay, so let's get these babies out of the way. Okay. And um, obviously, we cannot talk about the courts without, talking about archetypes. And, some people believe that only the arcana, the major arcana, holds the energy of archetypes, and yes, they do. They hold, because they hold so much intensity and major happenings in our lives. Each happening, each stage in our life is represented by an archetype, of course. But But with that being said, baby, the core cards also carry archetype energy. They're very role driven. Um, but before I get into all this nerdiness, what in the world is an archetype? An archetype um, is a fundamental pattern of thought and behavior that is inborn and found deep in the human subconscious mind. Okay, every single one of us, no exception, we all embody archetypes as we navigate life. Right? Um, and it's not like a hat that you take on and off or a role or no, it's a little deeper than a role. It's an actual paradigm, like a code, like a download that we embody. How often though? That's debatable. There's different versions. They say it's, every Saturn return or every 7 years or blah blah blah. I think it's more based on our life experiences, but that's my understanding. That's how I am processing the human condition in my experience. With that being said, we are constantly not only experiencing archetypes, but encountering each other's archetype embodiment every day, every running hour. We cannot avoid this. Even for introverts like myself, who prefer solitude and isolation, we are all conditioned or coded to interact and gravitate towards people at some point of our lives. Yikes. So, knowing different archetypes is going to help us gain new perspective in life. Archetypes are everywhere, real life or fiction. So you're gonna see them in books and movies, legends, myths, shows, songs, everywhere. So we're just constantly interacting with this type of avatars or skins, consciously or subconsciously. For example, almost every single one of us is going to meet a mother figure or a father figure, or a teacher or a conqueror, a hero, a wanderer or a ruler somewhere along our lives. It's going to happen. And we owe this wisdom of archetypes to Carl Jung. Carl Jung was a psychotherapist and close associate of Sigmund Freud, and he was the first individual to bring the theory of archetypes to life. He believed that we all are pre-programmed to search for them in our day-to-day lives. Not only we embody them, but we're searching for them because they ask as a blueprint for understanding the inner working of the world and our worlds, inner world, outer world, both of them. Okay, so every existing personality test out there somehow derives from his extensive work. I am obsessed with Carl Jung, and as a shadow worker, my God, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. He established 12 archetypes. The innocent, everyman, the hero, the rebel or outlaw, the explorer, the creator or artist, the ruler, the magician or wizard, the lover, the caregiver, the jester or joker, and the sage. Okay, just by listening to this name, they're here. You know they're here, of course. But there's also the seven feminine, the 13 seductive. And if you do research out there on archetypes, if you Google it, you will find profile blueprints used in real life, like the Enneagram or the Myers Briggs. They're all created to measure or expose our personality traits, aspects and factors of our consciousness or subconsciousness. They also want to measure our capacity and abilities. It's all about how we are processing or feeling or thinking or judging, observing, interacting or avoiding, even prospecting, right? And where do we sit in the spectrum of passive to aggressive, all the way in between? Where do we sit? Um, there's also the disc profile, for example, which is very popular for with employers and life coaches. Is It's about measuring your dominance, your influence, your steadiness, and your conscientious. What? Exactly. So this is not archetype information is not BS. This is highly researched, exploited, and monetized even by brands, especially by brands to sell those shit. It's proven accurate time over time. So yes, yes, of course, it's part of our lives. If you're human and you are embodying if you're a soul in a human body, guess what? You're gonna embody different archetypes in your lives as you navigate your journey. You know, so knowing which one are you writing right now, that's very helpful. Which archetypes are you gonna write next? That's very helpful. How about knowing which is the archetype of your partner or your friend or your business partner? Or your loved ones, who are they embodying right now? That kind of information, God damn it, that's very, very, very important. That's gold. It's pure gold. Archetypes knowledge is one of those topics that you didn't know you needed. Talk about subtle power to influence and manipulate and have that extra edge, right? My God. Oof. So some people they're like, oh, astrology, or you think astrology and knowing someone's signs reveal people's shit. Try getting to know their archetypes. That's it. It's like, ding, you have everything. So the topic of archetypes is gonna go hand in hand with emotional intelligence. If you are pursuing self leadership, influence, power, or any sort of leadership role in your life or the life of others, archetypes, my man, you're a winner. Okay. So, of course, archetypes is present and represented in tarot, of course. Here, boom, 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 the arcanas and the freaking core cards, Tarot is the storytelling of life, and it's just it's kind of like the picture of the intricacy and the inks and outs of our human condition. Honestly, I actually posted a special lecture on the Fool's Journey, also known as the Hero's Journey. And it is the representation of a human being, you and me, anyone, pursuing self realization and reconnecting to our divinity, to our authentic self, and we know, look, what we understand as wholeness, which is hopefully combining, or intertwining somehow our consciousness and our subconsciousness. Good luck with that. So from card 0 to 22, the tarot will represent different stages of existence on the spiritual, emotional, psychological, mental, and physical planes. But I want you to understand here, you know, that these archetypes and their complexity are also somehow represented in the, by the core cards. Okay, so let me see if I can make them fit here. Okay, maybe like this: King, Queen, Knight. Okay, Queen, King, Knight, Page. Let's see if I can make them fit. Can you see them? I think you do. Okay, let's see. Okay, so disc, for example, we got dominance, influence, steadiness, and consentious. Period. Okay. Okay. Let's, for example, go towards. Let's use the king of the cup suits. Dominance. Actually, yeah, dominance. For example, all the kings. Um, for the King of Pentacles, the dominance is going to be material. For the One Swords, it's going to be more intellectual, of course, because it's mental. And the Cups is going to be emotional, and the Wands is going to be creative. So because the Kings are all about taking action, right? The Kings are taking action, they're in charge, bossing people around. Not necessarily in a mean way, but maybe as a mentor or as a leader type of deal. Um, Fatherly figure sometimes, not necessarily. I think the emperor holds that better. But the king doesn't have time for babysitting because he assumed that the queen already did that. The queen already did that. And, he has no time for immaturities. He expects that you now can handle yourself on your own. He's kind of judging, sure, but this is how he feels. He feels that if he can do it, you can too. There's no excuse for yourself. And influence, for example, the queens are more influential than kings. We already know that, right? We know that. Even I know that, king guy. The queen is the boss. I don't know shit. Okay. What is the influence of the queen? The influence of the queen is caring. She fosters and she develops, and she's a nurturer. And she also influences the king decision. Let's be honest, y'all. You know how it is. She goes and the king is like, "No, we're not gonna do that shit today." And then the queen goes and she's like, rub his head and whisper, and she's like, "Ah, it would be a good idea." And then you're like, "Oh, forget it." Influence. The queen is the one influencing. She sits on the throne. She wears a crown just like him, and her outfit, the throne and the crown, even the color symbology is going to let you know what is it that she's nurturing and what is it that she's influencing, right? Then we have the steadiness. How is steadiness represented with the knights? Okay, just by looking at him, look at him, look at this guy. It's about movement, advancement, balance, which is a very big thing because this guy is always on a horse. So the level of steadiness will depend on the suit, and it goes from fast. Okay, this is the fastest. The source. Oh my God, I cannot grab this. Okay, the and of course the slowest is Pentacles. Look at the horse is not even trying. So of course steadiness is going to be represented by the knights. And of course, last but not least, the page, my man. Okay. I like the ones first. Okay. So, conscientiousness, the page. Why? Because it's early. It's an early stage in our life. We're like finding ourselves and defining, our level of awareness. And pages are the observer. They're learning, and as you can see, they're often standing and holding something, and they're young fellas. They're young. It's a young energy. It's a young generation. But I want you guys to, knowing this, how it's kind of like represented. I want you guys to not confuse a role versus an archetype. Okay, the king role, for example, is to be a ruler. He can be a ruler, um, but he can also be a magician or a joker. And you cannot tell by looking at them. Especially like the King of Cups. He has a poker face. You will never know what the heck he's thinking. So he could be as immature as a page, in behavior, in action. So you need to allow the king. I mean, we've seen it in our government, for example, how the difference between a mature president and a non-mature president. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Um, you know, you cannot tell by looking at them. It's their behavior and their actions, though, where you're gonna get it. For example, the pages are usually judged as immature or rebels or the outlaw archetype just because they're young, and that's just assuming. This is very patronizing. Some of them are very responsible. Some of them are heroes. Some of them are amazing caregivers. So again, it's the behavior, not the role. Okay. Um, Queens, for example, are assumed sages and caregiver, but some of them, baby, some of them are rebels. Some queens are rebels. So no, ma'am, let's not use labels. Let's not assume. I invite you guys to learn more about archetypes. Get yourself an archetype books or maybe an oracle cards. They're very, very good, very in depth. I personally have the Wild Unknown archetypes. It's really good, but I have about four different decks that talks about archetypes, and they're very helpful, and they help expand the message when you're working with tarot. Okay, that's my personal references. I will be posting a special archetype lecture, of course, more detailed on supporting archetypes. So just keep an eye on that. Um, and next week we're just gonna dive right into the pages. We're gonna start getting to know these guys one by one. Okay, next week we're going to dissect, go deeper into the pages, and every next week we're, we're gonna tackle this. Okay. Anyway, so before we get into today's special message, I want to invite you guys to consider joining our tarot collective. Our tarot tribe. Tarot mystics. We are stronger together, and tarot it was never meant to be a secret language. Now more than ever, we are being guided as a collective to explore it, to dissect it, and embrace its wisdom, and just take advantage of what's being put on the table. There's too much going on autopilot these days. There's too much technology. There's too much devices and machines. And that kind of like disconnect us from the world and each other. So tarot comes in to remind us who we are, and to help us stay connected to spirit and our higher self. So that we do not forget our truth of who we are, guys. Okay, that is what I'm saying. And if you are interested in learning, how to read tarot, okay, okay. My notes. How to read tarot, technically and intuitively, and how to solidify your in-depth card by card competency, and sharpening your reading skills. Then, of course, consider joining our tarot collective. I believe that learning tarot requires practice and devotion and deep exploration. I've been doing it all my life, and that's exactly that's where we come in. That's what we do inside the tower. We help both, the initiation to tarot and the further cultivation on your connection to tarot. And you know, it, it's my it's a study group. It's an official membership towards mentorship, and it's focused on self mastery and energy leadership, and the ongoing interpretation and integration of tarot in our day-to-day life. And it's 100% coach guided. I'm there holding your hand. You have access to me, not just the curriculum. And our study group is now up and running, so you can join us every week. It's free for members of the Tarot Collective, or it's just $11 per class for non-members. As you can see, it's extremely affordable. There's no strings attached, and you can cancel anytime that you feel confident about your skills, or that you already did the entire deck rotation. So that's it. Check it out, meditate on it as spirits, and I hope to see you on our next study group. Okay. I want to share with you guys a collective message today instead of just giving you guys a spread. I already share with you guys a spread on archetypes. Um, Check the tutorial 2022-13, which is the tutorial on the fool's journey. Just go ahead and go over that lecture once again, because it's very connected to archetypes. And this is the layout that I share with you guys then. Um, the way I laid out, I remember it was just the top three cards, and I said one, two, three. Here, I want to review it. I want to revise it, and I will say one, 2 and 3. You first want to know what's your layout today. You want to jump onto the next archetype. You want to pull the energy immediately instead of interrupting it. And number 3 is right in the middle, how to activate. How do you go from archetype now to archetype next, right? How to activate it, either through a healing, it's going to be an initiation ritual, or is it going to be a transmutation? What is it, right? And I wanted to expand it further, and I wanted to add 2 more cards to the layout into your canvas, and it's karmic lesson. What is the karmic lesson that you are dealing? What is, you know, that you're dealing with this archetype? What is this archetype here doing? What is it doing to you, for you? What is it that you're learning? What is the karmic lesson? And it's connected to your present archetype, and how you got there. So it's a little bit connected to the past as well. And the card number 5 is, of course, connected to the next archetype. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of the next archetype moving forward? Once you activate and you evolve, what is it that you're going to do with this evolution? What does it represent? And the overall goal of this spread is to help you reach your most authentic energy. Meaning, how do you determine that? Like, what is your true self? I offer the true self reading. What is your true self? And is your true self here or there? Is even your next archetype, how close is your next archetype to your true self, to your most authentic energy, right? And also, a good way to see where you are is like, are these the same vibration? Is the karmic lesson that you're learning now similar to your purpose in the future? Because that means that there was no growth, right? Okay. Or it means that you are already resonating in alignment to your akasha. There's different ways to see it, but that's what I want you to get at. So, you can pause the video. um, Archetype now, next archetype, how to activate this guy, what are you learning through this one, and what is the purpose of that one. Okay, got it, get it, good. Okay, so today's message. Um, I want to talk about not me, but spirit. Spirit has been hinting a lot of initiation messages. Initiating. Um, okay, what did I do? Okay, this was cups. Initiation messages. Okay, I guess I'll do this later because I'm so distracted right now. I'm very distracted. Okay, let's get to the message. I'll finish this later. Spirit has been communicating with us about initiation, and the fact that some of us have been chosen to be on the spotlight. Um, but the spotlight reveals. It's very revealing. It's exposing both our weaknesses and our strengths, and that is the point. That is the point. That is absolutely the point of you know understanding who are you becoming. And I believe that archetype work helps you a lot, because it gives you the complete understanding of the evolution that is necessary, the initiation that is necessary, and where you are as far as like, are you almost there? How long does it gonna take for you to? It kind of like reduces the learning curve. Like that's where I'm heading with this. Okay. Um, and okay, I wanna use today. I've been guided to use this deck. It has a very similar vibration to archetypes, but it speaks of um, where you are energetically, where we are energetically as a community, as a collective, considering that the spotlight is on, all eyes on you right now. Um, What is the truth that is being revealed? You know, the spirit of the bear is very protective. It speaks about being divinely guided, becoming grounded. Okay, so let's read about this a little bit. I want to give you all the details. It takes a little long. You know, these cards are not they're not in alphabetical order. Not they have numbers. This is just okay. So the bear speaks about waking up from um, a spiritual slumber and is beginning anew. And that's, you know, um, it has a protective energy. And I don't want the protective energy to be the one that's holding you back. I don't want you to feel that you need to be on the defensive, like all eyes on you, now you need a shield. No, that is not the point. You know, after a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and the effort are difficult, but the bear knows it is time to awaken and move towards a dawning light. Their card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. We are, as a collective, on the brink of something very wonderful. Some of us are like right there, you know, and you know. Okay, so the bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky and cumbersome and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, Bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of the spring emerges, and your transformation begins. Your soul is yearning growth. Your soul is yearning the spotlight that you're being given. So I don't want you to feel that you need to be defensive, that you need protection. Yes, you're going to need protection because um, but the protection that you need is not because your life is being threatened. No, the protection that you need is more a mindset, more of a inner strength. Is something to protect you from your own negativity, from your own self-limiting beliefs, so that you can move forward. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, the spotlight is might be too much. Yes, you're being exposed right now because it is there's an urgency for you to embrace your role. Your next archetype is here. You're already wearing it. Time to self realize and get the shit going, community. Okay, my collective, you know, this is all that I have for you today. Please do me a solid like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. King Gaia out.